Hello everyone, welcome to Financial Solutions with Samedi. I'm Samedi Shumba. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of the financial year. Most cooperatives have already started advertising the interest that they're giving out to their members on their social media platforms. SACCOS is one of them. Go to our Facebook page to see what SACCOS is paying out as interest on member savings. So I recorded this video to try and educate my audience on what interest on member savings is. I've mentioned it several times on past videos. So I just thought today let's just talk about just that interest and what actually contributes or affects it. So as you already know, the loans that we issue out in a SACCO are heavily dependent on member savings. We don't have outside investors that put money in our SACCO for us to be able to borrow it out to our members. It's the member savings that help us be able to borrow. Without the member savings, there's no SACCO that can be able to borrow you money in Botswana. So I'm going to talk about the things that actually affect this payout. Number one, interest on member saving is only due after the 30th of April every single year. Please don't call the office in February asking for this interest. Don't call the office in January after December and ask to be given interest on member savings. It is only calculated after the 30th of April, and that is the only time it can be paid out to you. Number two, interest on member savings changes annually based on several things. Number one, the one thing that drives this interest is the expense of the SACCO. If the SACCO has a lot of expenses in the year, it may not be able to give good interest on member savings. So it changes based on the activity of the year. Number three, savings interest versus dividend. What is the difference? I know people confuse this a lot, but they're different. Interest on member savings is heavily dependent on, it's calculated on the savings balance that you have. It is due at the end of every financial year. Dividends, on the other hand, are not due every year. They are due also after the audit is complete. Interest on member savings can be given before the audit is complete, but dividends, the audit has to be completed first before it is issued. Like I've mentioned, all the money that we generate from the loans, at the end of the year, we will give it first as interest on member savings. If there's a little bit more left, that's when we also issue dividends. Dividends are not dependent on the members' participation. They're just, they're dependent on whether you were actually a member when the dividend is declared. If you just joined the SACCO in 2024 and they're declaring 2023 dividends, you may not be eligible to receive the dividends. The money is equal. Number four, for you to actually learn about the compounding effect of money is through a saving. Members that actually reinvest the interest, the dividends that they receive from the SACCO, usually get a higher interest return. Members that don't withdraw a lot of their savings during the year get to experience a lot of interest at the end of the year. Members that actually save a lot more money get rewarded more, because this interest, it might be the same. For example, in SACCO it's 8.5, but people receive different amounts. People that receive the most money are the ones that save the most. So be encouraged to save in your SACCO. Number five, what makes one SACCO pay higher interest than the next SACCO? Number one is loan portfolio quality. A good loan portfolio quality creates an appetite for borrowing in the SACCO. If you are unable to borrow in your SACCO because they don't have products suitable for what you want, maybe go to the SACCO and ask them to create a certain product that may increase your appetite to borrow in the SACCO. Number two, default rates. Members that don't pay back interest that they are charged on their loans, these are people that actually end up eating away from what you could be receiving as your interest. So guard against people that don't pay back the loans in the SACCO, because they eat away from what you could actually be receiving. Membership growth. SACCOs that actually have higher numbers get to pay out a lot of interest on member savings. This is because they have a better or they have a bigger pool of funds to borrow members. You find that some SACCOS maximum you can borrow is 300,000, other 250, others even go up to 600,000. So for us to be able to reach those numbers, we need members to participate more in the SACCO. Another thing that actually makes a SACCO issue out a higher interest is investment income. This is the money that we put when we have excess liquidity into our money market, into our investment instruments. This is what we are, when the interest that we get from the money market, from anywhere else where we invest our money, we also pay it back in a SACCO. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that the money that you actually borrow from the SACCO is returned back to you, this is what I mean. The money, the interest that you are paying back on the loan that you have with your SACCO is later in the year paid back to you again as interest. This is part of the things that make cooperatives, the exception, an exceptional way of borrowing, because the money that you are actually borrowing and paying back as interest goes back to you. I hope you found, before I go there, SACCOS is offering 8.5% on interest on ordinary savings, 10% on retirement savings, and 10% on next-gen savings. So be encouraged to visit our office in the office building, Unit 10, or call our office on 393-8469 so that you can be part of our SACCO. I hope you found this video educational. I hope you like, subscribe. Also, please share on your savings. I also want to hear from members that are receiving good returns. How are you using this money to prepare for your future? Thank you.